everyone and welcome back to my channel. So before jumping into the topic of today's video, I would like to apologize for my last video. I actually filmed the whole video, and while I was editing the video, I realized that I actually forgot to film the intro. So that's why there was no intro in my last video. Now for today's video, I am sitting bare face in front of you. I would not actually be reviewing any product, but today's video, as you must have already seen by the title, it would be my everyday makeup look. Now whenever I get ready on day-to-day basis, I do not have a lot of time to get ready, and I just get ready within like 5 to 7 minutes. So my basic makeup routine is really minimal, and so today I would be showing everything I do on my day-to-day basis to just get ready and go out of the door. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So before doing anything to your face, I would highly recommend just sanitizing your hands with any sanitizer, because usually our hands are really dirty, and when we use them for a face, bacteria that are on our hand can transfer onto our skin and they can cause acne or other skin issues. It is suggested to always sanitize your hand before touching your face. Now, although I have already moisturized my face, so my hands are clean, but I would still sanitize my hands as an extra precautionary measure. Okay, now as I already said, I do have my moisturizer on. The first thing that I would be using is a sunscreen, and the one that I use is from Neutrogena. Also for doing my makeup, I would just tie my hair at the back so that I do not have anything on my face. Okay, now I'm all set to do my makeup. I'll just grab my sunscreen on my fingers and just apply it all over my face. This is the only step actually that I do using my fingers. Rest all would be done with a makeup sponge. Applying the sunscreen all over my face, and I'm doing it generously on my face as well as my neck. I'm looking here because I have my vanity mirror here, which would help me apply my makeup. We Indians usually do not apply sunscreen कि अरे थोड़ी देर के लिए तो जा रहे हैं, ये सन में तो ज़्यादा exposure होगा ही नहीं. But even a little bit of exposure can damage your skin over the period of time, and we do not get to know about that until it is usually too late. So if you want to really take care of your skin, then always apply a sunscreen. Okay, now as my sunscreen is done, I would go in with a primer. So now I do have large pores around my nose, and I usually apply my Benefit Professional primer for that. But for this video, I would be using STILA's color correct primer, because I showed this in a project pan video, and I just want to finish this primer. It is like almost done, just a couple of uses and I would be able to finish this. So that's the reason I'm using this, and I would be applying all my products using a beauty sponge. This is a damp beauty sponge. I have damped it and it is like pretty big now in size. Now this is not a beauty blender, and it is like a generic beauty sponge available in the market. Okay, now just taking a little bit of primer on my sponge and applying it all over my face. I usually do it pretty quickly because I just have 5 minutes to do my makeup. Okay, now I am done priming my face and just dragging the leftover product onto my neck. And now coming to the foundation, on my day-to-day basis, I usually go for this Maybelline's Fit Me foundation. I am in the shade 128 Warm Nude, and I do like this foundation for everyday use, but the only fact I don't like about this is that this does not have a pump or anything, and I have to use my hand to use it. I would just take a little bit of this foundation on the back of my hand. I have actually taken out a little too much. I won't be using that much, but it was an accident. See, this is what happens when you do not have a pump. You tend to waste a lot of product which you do not actually need. Okay, so taking the back of my sponge and dipping it in the foundation and then applying the foundation onto my face. Now this is a medium coverage foundation, and it is good for everyday use. Applying the foundation in patting motion all over my face. I also take a little bit of foundation and apply it onto my neck just to match the color of my face and neck. I would apply a second layer of the foundation on my face. I would damp a little bit of the foundation on my eyes too, because I usually do not use an eye primer for my everyday makeup. Okay, now I'm done with my foundation. I would just go in with a little bit of concealer. I would apply a little bit of this Maybelline Dream Lumi concealer underneath my eyes to make it a little brighter. Just applying a little bit of product underneath my eyes and taking the same sponge to blend it. It does not give me a lot of coverage, but it does give me a little bit of illumination under my eyes. I do not actually want a lot of coverage on my day-to-day basis, so this works good for me. So now I am basically done with my face. All is left is applying some powder to just lock everything in. And for my powder, I would be using this Maybelline powder, and this is also something that I included in my project pan, something that I really want to finish, and I have already actually hit pan on this, and so I guess I would be able to finish it this year. I would just take the back of my sponge and dip it in the powder part and just dab it all over my face, applying the powder all over my face, including under my eyes to set my concealer. Okay, so now my face is done. Before going into the eyes, I would just apply a little bit of lip balm so that my lip gets moisturized before applying lipstick. Now for my brows, I would just take this brow pencil from Sigma and just fill in my brows with a very light hand. I'm not very good at doing my brows, but a pencil does make the task easier. Okay, so now I guess my brows are done. I would just grab this Maybelline Duo Stick. This is basically a product. You have a bronzing color on one side and a highlighting color on the other. So this is a very handy product for everyday use. I just take the bronzing color and apply it where I want my bronzer, and even on little bit everywhere. This is very easy to blend. I would just take my sponge and blend it with my foundation. This does not do much, but it does give a little bit of dimension to the face. Okay, now I guess it's all blended. Now going with the other side, it's a highlighter. I'll just lightly dab it in. I'll just lightly apply the product and again blend it with the beauty blender. It is not a very bright highlighter, but it does work well for day-to-day basis. I would also apply a little bit under my brow and even on my nose. Okay, so now this is also done. Now for my eyes, I just try to make it very quick. So I do not apply any base or something. I've just applied my foundation. I would just take one single brush, and the one I have right now is from M.A.C. It's M.A.C 103, and any palette of my choice. Usually I go for pink palettes, and today I would be using this Nykaa palette in the shade Daydreaming. I would just take a lighter color, and in this case I would be using this pink, very light pink, and I would dust this all over my lid without even thinking. Once this is done, I would take this color or any other sort of brown shade and just fill my outer V and a little bit in my crease. Because the colors in this eye palette are very easy to blend, it hardly takes me 2 minutes to complete my look. You can leave it just like that, but I personally like to add a little bit of highlighter in my inner corner, and for that I would be using this bright color, and taking the brush which is available in the palette, I would just take this color and apply it in the inner corner. Taking a little bit of pink again and filling my tear duct. Now taking the blending brush again and just blending everything together. I would take a little bit of pink on the blending brush again and just do my lower lash line very lightly. You can use another brush for your lower lash line, but I personally never do my lower lash line. All I do after this step is apply a white colored liner in my waterline so that my eyes look awake. A white liner makes all the difference. Now finishing the eyes with a little bit of mascara. The mascara that I'm using right now is from Giorgio Armani. You can use any mascara of your choice. All the products that I'm using in this video would be linked in the description box below. So now I'm done with my eyes. I usually do not go for any sort of kajal or any eyeliner because getting the eyeliner even for me usually takes a lot of time, and I do not have that kind of time with me when I get ready every morning. I have applied my bronzer and my highlighter. I did not apply my blush earlier, so I would be taking this blush from Nykaa or any other brush that I can grab my hands on. Take a little bit on my brush and apply it on my cheeks just below the highlighter. I usually do not go very heavy with it. I just apply it for a little bit of color. For my lips, I already moisturized my lips in the starting of the video, and all I need to do is apply a lipstick. Lipstick, I usually grab the shade that matches my outfit, but when I'm in a hurry or when I'm not able to decide which one to go for, I just usually go for a light pink sort of a shade. And today I would be applying this Lakme 9 to 5 Weightless Mousse lipstick in the shade Rose Touch. This is a sort of shade that I can go for any time without thinking. I am actually not a fan of Lakme products. This is a product that I have been using like non-stop since the day I bought it. Okay, so now I'm done and this is how I look like. This is the way I look 90% of the time when I'm not filming or I am not going to a party. You will find me in this sort of a makeup look. So that's it for today's video. If you like today's video, then please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching my video. Namaste.